Hi guys, it's Machaela, and we're actually going to be here with the family today. For today's video, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of recap what's been going on over the last 6 or 7 months or so. 2020 has been a particularly hard year for my family, and I know we've been very vague as to what's been going on, but I do have Marty here today to kind of explain the incident, what happened, keeping certain details private for the sake of there's still a lot going on, but still kind of explaining exactly what it was that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to him.
Hey guys, so what happened was I had an anoxic brain injury, and what that is when you don't get any more oxygen to the brain. And I had that for about, I think, 7 or 8 minutes.
Was that what the report said?
I think it was 7 or 8 minutes is what they said. I woke up 8 days later.
9 days.
9 days later. I was still in a fog. I don't remember waking up, and I actually don't remember the first 2 months of while I was in the hospital. Some things are starting to come back, and you know, it's just been a process trying to remember everything and trying to just kind of clear my head about what happened. After that, I was sent to neuro rehab. It's called Center for Neuro Skills, and what they do is they focus on your cognitive ability, and they also focus on your occupational therapy, which is like, you know, if you can still see or if you can still speak. Stuff like that. I had to do some physical therapy too, because I had my right arm was like crunched up to my body. I couldn't like bend it straight for a long time, which I can now, but had to do that. And then I also had counseling, which my wife and I are currently doing still. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me.
And then to recap some of that, I would like to point out a lot of the miracles that had happened within this. So to start off with, while he was in the hospital, I had gotten a call one day that there had been an incident, and they had told us that he might not wake up. And for 9 days straight, they told us that he will not wake up. So from there, after 9 days, they were telling me, you know, it's time to let him go. It's time to just maybe let him go. And if it weren't for my brother, who he is, you know, really in tune with who he is as a Christian man, as a family man, and he kept telling me, do not let him die. Do not let the hospital do that. Do not, because I was ready. All I wanted at that point was for all the pain to end. And I just wanted to let him go and let him just let God do what God was going to do. And so if it weren't for my brother and my mom and my family, I probably would have seriously considered and probably would have ended up letting him go.
And just in all fairness, we've had this discussion prior to this incident, and I always told her that if anything were to ever happen to me, to just let me go, because I didn't want to ever be a vegetable. I've seen people who were like that. My Uncle Sean was like that from a motorcycle injury. And they only like held on for a couple of weeks because he wasn't getting better. So yeah, I told her to let me go if that were to ever happen, but she actually held on a little bit longer than I thought she would.
So that happened, and then on the 9th day, the doctor called me saying, hey, he's waking up. We're going to take him off the ventilator. So that was the first miracle. That was the first miracle in a series of many miracles. And then that point came and went, and I thought, okay, he's going to wake up and be normal. He wasn't normal. So within a couple of weeks after that, they told me, okay, he's going to be a vegetable. We need to get him out of the hospital. We need to get him to a nursing facility. But the hospital, we were surrounded. I mean, God was in this from beginning to end. You know, from there, he gave us great people. We couldn't have asked him to have been at a better hospital. He gave us people who fought for him to get into a rehab facility. And that rehab facility has done amazing things for us and for our family. And like, there was, you know, they were talking to me about things like, okay, you know, well, rehab facility is only going to take him if you're willing to take him home as is. And it was scary because I was pregnant. I was 8 months pregnant at the time of the incident. And I told him, I can't do this. I cannot care for my husband who's childlike when I've got a 2-year-old and a new baby on the way, and it's just not going to work out for me. So one day I got a phone call after having a couple of really hard interviews, saying we're only going to take him in if you're willing to take him home as is if he doesn't get better. Well, within a couple weeks later, I got a phone call saying, hey, we're going to take him. We don't need to really, in all reality, they really didn't need to know anything. All I had to say was, yes, take him. Yes, we're willing to do what it takes to help him get better. And they took him. He was about 5 hours away. I'm not going to give out locations for privacy purposes, but he was about 5 hours away from us at the time. And honestly, I mean, we were able to video chat every single night. We were in constant communication with one another. I was in constant communication and am still in constant communication with his care team. So it's honestly, it's been a huge blessing. Do you have something to say?
No.
So it's been a huge blessing for, despite the circumstances, the way God brought about the people who need to be in our lives at this time has been amazing. I mean, another miracle being, they told us that his right arm that was scrunched up was never going to be more than that. And it is. And it's not fully better yet. He still has some aches and pains, but he's using it, and we never thought he was going to use it. The doctors told us that he's never going to be more than a vegetable. And I mean, look at him. He's here now. He's helping me raise the kids. I mean, he's still got a long ways to go in his recovery, but he's not near as bad as what people say. And to be completely honest, I just want to share this from what I've seen and the miracles that I've seen. Yes, medical professionals are there to do a job. They're there to give you their best assessment. And a lot of the times they're not wrong. And I'm not here to say that they are, because they're not. They just, when it comes to brain injury, the medical team does not know what's going to become of it. Whether they're going to make a minimal recovery, whether they're going to make a full recovery, they're not going to know. So if you're going through something similar to our family right now, I just want to let you know that, yes, the medical team has their assessment. Yes, it can be an honest assessment, but you cannot rely solely on a medical team. You cannot rely on that.
Yeah, they were saying a bunch of stuff like I was never going to walk again, that I wouldn't be able to speak clearly again, that I wouldn't have my cognitive ability, meaning that I wouldn't be able to function, I wouldn't be able to read, make sentences, all of those kinds of things. And don't get me wrong, I mean, things about me are a little bit different. Like I was kind of discussing with my counselor yesterday, I'm pretty apathetic towards a lot of situations now, where I was more, not emotional, but more involved in a lot of things, which I'm really not anymore. I think a lot of that has to do with me being home more and not really being able to go out more. But, I have slight personality changes that, my wife notices, my in-laws notice, and I mean, that's tough for me to hear because, my wife says, I just want my husband that I married back. And, I have to tell her, I have to remind her, hey, you need to be patient with me. You will have him back. You do have him back, but it's just, I'm kind of different right now. It's all a process, and my wife's right. I'm still recovering. I'm still getting better every single day. Trying to, raise kids, be a family man, get back to work, which that'll be, that's one thing I would like you guys to pray for me about. I gotta complete some classes, and once I do that, then I'll be able to return to work. And after I take a driving assessment. Because that's my whole job, is driving, and that's how I support my family. So if you guys can pray for that, I would highly appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys so much for praying and being by my family's side this whole entire time I was in the hospital. I couldn't thank you enough.
Yeah, and just, to be clear, yeah, he will. Right now we are in the process of working on getting him driving again. And we're working on, the hope is to get him back to work and get him back to supporting our family. And I can go into more videos about this later, especially if you guys want them. Really. But I can. Hey. But I can go ahead, you know, I can talk more about like the driving or like the day-to-day kind of stuff of his injury and how we're coping as a family, especially if you guys want more involving that. But we did have to move because of this injury. We had to make a lot of family changes. We've had some role reversals. And, you know, from here, I just kind of wanted to open this discussion up. If you guys wanted to talk, if you guys wanted to ask questions, feel free. I definitely would like to make more videos like on our daily life now, like regarding it. Abby, I know, has had a hard time because for a while there she lost her daddy, and she's going through that. So if you guys would like a video on how she's coping as well, I'm more than happy to do that. And for a while there, you know, I felt, you know, I had my family take me back in. I had my parents take me in with all of this, and they've definitely helped out. Our community has definitely helped out. But, you know, it felt like I was going to be a single mother, and it hurt me. And I've got my 2-year-old sitting here trying to be silly while we're trying to do a video, but that's just life, you know. We don't just, it's kind of hard to sit here and do a video without having the kids kind of right here. But we definitely want to share with you what's going on and where our family's at. So, yeah, it's just, we've had to make a lot of changes. And is there anything else that you would like to share before we close out?
No, I think I should.
You think you shared? Okay. Well, with that, honestly, again, just comment below. My Instagram handle will be below if you want to talk. If you want to ask questions, feel free to ask me on there as well. And we will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my 2-year-old in the background trying to be silly as we're trying to be serious. Just part of life. But with that, we will see you in the next video. God bless and bye,
Have a good
guys.
day. Bye.
You say bye?
Bye.